7 tests dark chosen ones struggle with but light ones never do. Have you ever felt like the universe was testing you in ways that no one around you could ever understand? Like you're living through experiences that defy explanation, pushing your spirit to the edge. If you're listening to me right now, there's a chance you're among the rare souls the universe chose to walk the dark path of awakening. The path of the dark chosen ones is a unique spiritual journey, one filled with trials that can seem harsh, unfair, even unbearable. Yet these tests carry a profound purpose, a hidden wisdom designed specifically to awaken strength within you that others may never discover. I want you to picture your life as a movie, but not just any movie, a story specifically scripted by the cosmos. You didn't choose to be cast as a dark chosen one, but here you are, playing a lead role you never asked for. From childhood, you might have felt different, isolated, misunderstood, burdened with a heaviness that others couldn't comprehend. While light chosen ones experience spiritual tests that uplift and illuminate, yours have always felt darker, heavier, harder. Why is it that your struggles seem endless, deeper, and uniquely challenging? The reason is profound. The dark path tests you in ways that the light path never could, because it seeks to forge within you a strength of spirit that's utterly indestructible.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Let me share with you the first of these 7 tests, the test of isolation. Dark chosen ones almost universally face intense periods of loneliness and abandonment, not because you're unworthy or unwanted, but because solitude is the only environment where your spirit can hear itself clearly. The universe isolates you not as a punishment, but as preparation. Think about this. Have you ever considered that isolation is the universe's way of silencing external distractions so you can finally hear your own powerful internal voice? Perhaps you've asked, why am I always alone? But a deeper, more meaningful question might be, what am I meant to discover about myself in this solitude? The silence and emptiness you often dread is, paradoxically, your greatest teacher. The second test you're bound to face is betrayal. Dark chosen ones frequently endure betrayal from the people they trust the most. Friends turn away, loved ones break your heart, allies become enemies without warning. You might ask yourself, why do I attract betrayal? The deeper question, though, is what is betrayal teaching me about trust, discernment, and strength? Every betrayal is not simply a painful end, it's a sacred initiation into the wisdom of discernment. It's teaching you that your path demands razor-sharp intuition, the ability to see beyond masks, and the strength to trust yourself above all others. These lessons cannot be learned through gentle guidance, they require stark, unforgettable experiences. Each betrayal you've survived has etched wisdom into your soul, creating within you an intuitive power most can only dream of. Next comes the test of misunderstood darkness. You're often labeled negatively, judged harshly, even feared, because your path leads to explore the shadowy corners of existence that others shy away from. You've likely questioned, why am I misunderstood? But the universe asks you a deeper question. Are you willing to embrace your darkness openly, unapologetically, and find within it your true power? Your darkness isn't evil or wrong, it's the misunderstood half of your authentic self. Imagine this: what if your darkness is the very soil from which your greatest strengths, insights, and spiritual powers grow? Your willingness to explore darkness gives you an edge, an advantage most never attain: authentic self-knowledge. The fourth test is temptation. Dark chosen ones face temptation not just in superficial forms, but as profound challenges to their moral core and integrity. These temptations test whether you can hold fast to your inner truth amidst immense pressure. You might wonder, why am I constantly tested morally? Instead, consider how strong is my commitment to the path I've chosen. The universe doesn't tempt you out of cruelty. It tests your resolve so your soul can crystallize into its purest form. Each temptation you overcome purifies your intent, sharpens your purpose, and makes your spiritual alignment unshakable. You become like a diamond, hardened and purified by pressure that others never experience. But temptation isn't the hardest test. The fifth test, the test of unseen purpose, often feels more challenging. This is when the universe withholds clarity about your spiritual mission, leaving you feeling lost, directionless, uncertain why you're enduring such difficult trials. It's natural to ask, why don't I know my purpose yet? But consider an even deeper question, can I trust the process even without knowing where it's leading me? The true test here is faith, not religious faith, but spiritual trust in yourself and the unseen forces guiding you. Your willingness to move forward blindly, guided only by your intuition, builds an unbreakable bond with your higher self, teaching you to trust your instincts above external validation or confirmation. This skill is essential to your unique spiritual journey because the dark path requires strength in uncertainty. The sixth test is spiritual confrontation, intense encounters with negative energies, dark entities, or challenging spiritual forces. You've likely asked, why am I always facing spiritual battles others don't? Instead, ask yourself, what power within me is being awakened through these battles? These confrontations aren't meant to break you, they're carefully designed initiations. They're testing your spiritual courage, your inner strength, and your ability to master energetic boundaries. Through each confrontation, you become a spiritual warrior, skilled not just in self-defense, but in actively transmuting darkness into empowerment. You're not just surviving these tests, you're actively transforming dark energy into fuel for your spiritual ascension. Finally, there's the seventh test, the test of misunderstood empathy. Dark chosen ones often have extraordinary empathy, but unlike light chosen ones, whose empathy is easily recognized and praised, yours is frequently misunderstood or unseen. You might wonder, why can't others see my kindness and good intentions? But ask yourself this deeper question instead. Am I brave enough to offer compassion without recognition or reward? Your empathy is hidden for a purpose. You're learning unconditional compassion, the kind that needs no validation, no thanks, and no praise. This kind of compassion is pure spiritual power, a gift so profound it can change entire realities, even when it goes unnoticed. Why your darkest struggles reveal strengths you never imagined existed. Every one of these tests, whether isolation, betrayal, misunderstood darkness, temptation, unseen purpose, spiritual confrontation, or misunderstood empathy, holds a secret power hidden within its core. Your pain isn't arbitrary. It's purposeful, intentional, meticulously orchestrated by the universe to awaken dormant strengths within you. You are not just surviving these tests, you're evolving through them, becoming an entirely new form of being a spiritual warrior, forged in the fires of darkness, emerging stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. Consider your loneliness. On the surface, it seems like punishment, but dive deeper. What if isolation is actually teaching you independence at the deepest spiritual level? It pushes you to stop looking externally for answers or comfort, forcing you instead to turn inward. Inside this solitude, you're discovering a truth that most never find the ability to exist happily and powerfully within yourself, without needing others for validation or support. This self-reliance isn't just empowering, it's transformative. It frees you from dependency, giving you spiritual autonomy. Think about it, would you ever have known this inner strength if you'd never faced the discomfort of solitude? Your isolation taught you something priceless, the secret to true self-sufficiency. Then there's betrayal, It feels bitter, unfair, crushing. But betrayal's hidden strength is discernment and intuitive mastery over who and what you trust. Every painful betrayal refines your inner compass, sharpening your intuitive instincts until they become almost supernatural. You no longer rely solely on appearances or promises. Your heart and spirit have become finely tuned instruments, capable of detecting authenticity in others with uncanny accuracy. Your past wounds from betrayal aren't scars, they're symbols of your growth, badges proving that your intuition has survived and thrived through intense adversity. What if betrayal wasn't your greatest wound, but your greatest gift in disguise? Now, let's examine misunderstood darkness. Being labeled, judged, or misunderstood for your darker aspects initially feels isolating. But the strength hidden here is authenticity, a power that arises only when you boldly accept every part of your true nature, even those society fears or condemns. Your willingness to embrace darkness isn't rebellion, it's profound authenticity. Others wear masks, desperately hiding their shadows, but you openly acknowledge yours. This bravery to be unapologetically yourself frees immense energy within your spirit, unlocking creativity, courage, and a raw spiritual magnetism others secretly envy. Your darkness isn't weakness, it's the seed bed of your greatest powers. Imagine how unstoppable would you be if you fully embraced and harnessed this misunderstood power. Temptation, too, carries hidden strengths. Each moral or spiritual temptation you resist strengthens your integrity, solidifying your character like tempered steel. Temptation's true gift is spiritual resilience, the ability to remain aligned with your purpose, even when your desires or ego are challenged fiercely. With each test, you choose integrity over immediate gratification, shaping a character that remains unwavering under pressure. Your spiritual strength now radiates an intense energy of reliability, dependability, and true inner peace. Could you ever have cultivated this strength without those intense temptations you faced head-on? When you face the test of unseen purpose, your frustration at the universe withholding answers can feel crushing. Yet, in navigating the uncertainty, you're cultivating a rare strength, trust in yourself and in the divine. You're learning to move forward even without immediate answers or clarity, driven purely by intuition and faith. This trust transforms your spiritual journey from a confusing maze into a sacred dance, a harmonious relationship with uncertainty. The hidden gift here is your ability to thrive in ambiguity, to find peace amid chaos. Have you realized yet how rare and powerful this strength is, this unwavering trust in your own path? And spiritual confrontation, those intense battles against darkness, aren't random attacks. Each confrontation activates and sharpens your spiritual defenses, teaching you not only how to survive negative energies, but how to transmute them. You're gaining the powerful skill of energetic alchemy, transforming darkness into light, negativity into strength. You're not merely enduring spiritual conflicts, you're learning to dominate them. Each battle sharpens your ability to create powerful energetic boundaries, making your spirit impenetrable and profoundly resilient. Can you see now how each confrontation was a divine initiation, transforming you into an alchemist of energy? Finally, misunderstood empathy is quietly cultivating within you a profound and rare strength, unconditional compassion. Offering empathy without recognition or praise strengthens your spiritual generosity. You are learning a compassion that demands nothing in return, a kindness that genuinely transforms lives without needing acknowledgement. This empathy isn't passive, it's an active spiritual force capable of profound transformation. By silently giving this powerful gift, you are reshaping realities, subtly healing wounds, and changing lives forever. Imagine what could you achieve by consciously channeling this invisible yet immense power of empathy. how mastering these hidden strengths makes your life spiritually unstoppable. Now that you've uncovered the hidden strengths these 7 intense spiritual tests have awakened within you, it's time to master them, to integrate them fully into your life. Imagine what could happen if you actively harnessed the power of solitude, discernment, authenticity, resilience, trust, energetic alchemy, and unconditional compassion. You wouldn't just survive life's challenges, you'd thrive in ways that others can barely comprehend. Your existence would become spiritually unstoppable, radiating a power and wisdom that transforms everything around you. First, let's talk practically about solitude. Remember, isolation taught you independence, but independence only becomes powerful when actively embraced. When you willingly engage in solitude, you transform it from loneliness into an intentional practice of self-discovery. Start by deliberately carving out moments of intentional solitude every day, even if only for a few minutes. Silence your phone, step away from distractions, and just listen deeply to your inner voice. Let solitude become your sacred space. You'll soon discover that intentional solitude nourishes your soul, clarifies your vision, and dramatically strengthens your spiritual presence. You become someone who not only survives being alone, but actively thrives within your own company. So deeply for a moment, how powerful would you feel if solitude became your greatest ally, your refuge, your sanctuary? Next, master discernment, the powerful intuition shaped by past betrayals. You've learned to trust your instincts at a deeper level, but to master discernment, you must consciously apply it every single day. Tune into your intuitive senses when meeting new people or encountering new opportunities. Ask your inner voice for guidance, listen carefully. Observe closely when something feels off or misaligned. Over time, you'll become incredibly adept at seeing clearly through illusions, instantly knowing who and what to trust. This skill becomes a protective shield, sparing you unnecessary pain, drama, or setbacks. Imagine living life effortlessly, avoiding pitfalls because your intuitive discernment guides you clearly. Isn't that a strength worth mastering fully? Then, there's the power of authenticity, fully embracing your misunderstood darkness. You've begun recognizing your shadows as strengths, but now practice actively expressing your authentic self without apology. Dare to openly share truths that others might fear. Knowing your authenticity frees both yourself and others to do the same. You'll discover authenticity magnetically attracts like-minded souls who resonate deeply with your truth. Your relationships, creativity, and life purpose flourish in ways previously unimaginable. Authenticity empowers you spiritually because you're no longer hiding or suppressing any part of yourself. Could there be any greater freedom than this full and unapologetic self-expression? Temptation's gift of resilience must also become an active spiritual tool. Recognize every temptation as an opportunity to clarify and reinforce your highest values. Instead of feeling burdened by moral struggles, view them as spiritual workouts, opportunities to flex and strengthen your spiritual muscles. Each victory reinforces your resilience, making future challenges easier. Eventually, you become spiritually indestructible, capable of remaining true to yourself regardless of external pressures. You become a beacon of spiritual integrity. Ask yourself, how powerful would your spiritual presence be if your resilience became unshakable? Unseen purpose has taught you deep trust in your spiritual journey, but trust becomes truly unstoppable when practiced actively, especially during periods of uncertainty. Whenever you feel lost, anxious, or uncertain, pause and consciously reaffirm your trust in the unseen plan unfolding in your life. Practice reminding yourself daily, I trust the path even when I cannot see clearly. Over time, this active trust becomes your greatest strength, allowing you to move confidently through uncertainty and ambiguity. Imagine how unstoppable you'd feel, knowing your trust is unwavering, regardless of circumstances. Mastering energetic alchemy from your spiritual confrontations is equally essential. Every encounter with negativity or darkness can now be actively approached as an opportunity to transmute energy. Visualize yourself consciously transforming negative emotions or energies into positive growth, strength, and insight. Actively practice protecting your energy field daily, strengthening your spiritual boundaries through meditation, visualization, or ritual. Soon, your energetic mastery becomes automatic and profoundly empowering. Could you envision living a life where negativity fuels rather than drains you? Finally, misunderstood empathy, unconditional compassion must become an intentional daily practice. Offer compassion deliberately, even anonymously, without expectation of recognition or thanks. Actively choose empathy when faced with difficult or challenging individuals. Soon, compassion becomes your natural spiritual response to all situations, creating profound inner peace and transforming lives around you. This invisible yet powerful practice turns you into a quiet spiritual healer, someone who leaves profound impacts wherever they go. Reflect deeply: how spiritually unstoppable would your life become if unconditional compassion guided every interaction? How embracing your dark path awakens the legendary spiritual force within you. Now that you've journeyed deeply through the hidden strengths forged from your darkest spiritual tests and begun mastering them practically, you stand on the threshold of a spiritual awakening unlike any other. You might ask yourself, what exactly happens when I fully embrace the dark path the universe chose for me? The answer is profound. You become more than a spiritual survivor. You transform into a legendary spiritual force, a being whose wisdom, strength, and depth illuminate darkness itself. This isn't mere poetic language. This is your destiny manifesting through the courage you've shown by choosing to face and master these profound tests head-on. First, by embracing the solitude you've mastered, your presence alone becomes a powerful spiritual teaching. Others sense your profound inner peace, the quiet but tangible strength of someone deeply connected to their own essence. You no longer seek external validation because your self-worth radiates from deep within. People around you are naturally drawn to your aura of calm, your serene confidence in solitude. They seek your presence, sensing instinctively that you hold wisdom derived from deep introspection. In fully owning your solitude, you transform loneliness into magnetic spiritual charisma. You become someone who doesn't merely endure being alone, but who inspires others to explore their inner worlds too. Think deeply now. Can you feel the power in transforming your solitude into a legendary spiritual presence? Then, your powerful discernment, born from betrayal, evolves into legendary spiritual insight. As you continue consciously trusting your intuition, your perceptions deepen dramatically. Your insight becomes almost prophetic. You sense hidden motivations, foresee outcomes clearly, and instinctively guide yourself and others toward truth. You become not only wise but visionary, your discernment legendary among those fortunate enough to witness your intuitive power. You effortlessly guide others through life's complexities, offering clarity and guidance few can match. Your intuitive wisdom isn't merely impressive, it's life-changing. How deeply could you impact the world if your legendary insight became fully activated? Next, by fearlessly embracing your misunderstood darkness, your authenticity transforms into legendary spiritual courage. People recognize the rare bravery required to openly acknowledge aspects of self most others desperately hide. Your courage liberates others, giving them permission to face their own darkness without fear or shame. In becoming fully authentic, you radiate strength, vulnerability, and profound honesty, a rare combination that leaves deep impressions on everyone you encounter. You become known for this legendary courage, someone others look to as an example of how authenticity unlocks limitless spiritual power. Can you sense the extraordinary power in fully embracing your misunderstood darkness? and your spiritual resilience, born from overcoming temptation, now blossoms into legendary spiritual integrity. Your unwavering commitment to your highest values and truth inspires deep respect and admiration. Others trust your character implicitly because you've demonstrated time and again that you remain true even under immense pressure. You become someone whose word carries profound spiritual weight, whose actions exemplify absolute integrity. Your legendary resilience makes you an unshakable force for truth and spiritual clarity. Imagine the ripple effect your integrity could create, transforming not just yourself but entire communities who follow your example. Then, the trust you've cultivated in your unseen purpose becomes legendary spiritual faith, a faith so profound it moves mountains. Your calm certainty amid life's uncertainties inspires courage in others who feel lost or afraid. You become a living example of how spiritual trust transforms chaos into harmony, confusion into clarity. Others seek your guidance precisely because you trust the universe implicitly, moving confidently through uncertainty with grace and power. Your legendary faith isn't passive belief, it's active trust, a force capable of reshaping realities. Could you imagine a greater spiritual legacy than being remembered as someone whose faith inspired others to embrace their own unknown paths fearlessly? Your mastery of energetic alchemy likewise becomes legendary spiritual power. You don't just survive spiritual confrontations, you command energetic forces, actively transforming negativity into spiritual empowerment effortlessly. Your energy becomes deeply magnetic, radiating positivity and strength that uplifts and heals others simply by being in your presence. People feel calmer, clearer, and more inspired around you, sensing your legendary energetic mastery intuitively. You become an alchemist of souls, a spiritual warrior whose strength empowers everyone you encounter. Can you envision the incredible spiritual impact of fully embracing this legendary energetic power? Finally, unconditional compassion, the misunderstood empathy you've mastered, awakens legendary spiritual healing. Your kindness quietly transforms lives, heals hidden wounds, and nurtures profound spiritual growth. You become known as someone who embodies true compassion, transforming suffering into peace wherever you go. Your compassion becomes legendary because it never seeks recognition. It simply acts quietly, profoundly, and powerfully. This invisible, selfless creates miracles in everyday interactions. Reflect deeply now, how extraordinary would your spiritual legacy be if compassion became your defining trait? You've walked this path of darkness bravely, mastering every profound test the universe offered you. Now, fully awakened, you stand ready not only to live a spiritually unstoppable life, but to inspire the world around you to awaken alongside you. Embrace fully your path as a legendary spiritual force. The universe chose you because it recognized your extraordinary capacity for profound spiritual greatness. Step into this destiny now,